Hey everybody, welcome back to Path of Exile, welcome back to the Unusual Mom, welcome back to map farming. I think last episode I said I was going to find an import. In fact, I know I did, for the hideout. I looked briefly online how that worked, and what resources were out there. There were a few, but they were kind of weird, and rather than dive into it, I shied away from it, because it was, there's a layer of complexity there I didn't really feel like digging into right now. But we'll get to it at some point. I assure you we will. Let's kick it off with a map. Let's do maps. I mean, what else are we going to do? Not maps? Is there one that we haven't done yet? Maybe? I don't think we've done this one yet. I mean, we haven't done that one yet. 45% increased area of effect. Yeah, let's do it. It's not like we were going to level up anyway. Let's start. Abomination? Sure. Take a look at the atlas here real quick. 2% chance for maps to drop one tier higher. Each bonus objective you complete increases this by 1%. I see. So that's why the bonus objectives are important. So if we activate this, and we go inside. Actually, I don't know how we see the atlas. Can we see the atlas just in here? Please? I hope everyone's doing well out there. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good myself. Except for days that I'm not, but it's pretty rare. It's pretty rare. I'm just trying to be relatable if you're not having a good time. If you're not having a good time, I mean, everything gets better in time. I can promise you that. Yes, I kind of got deep there for something I didn't really want to. I was just trying to fill airtime there. I really want to get deep. But if you're having a bad time, you can always send me a message. Always be willing to talk to anybody about anything. Ooh, it got real laggy in here. Why so laggy, game? Oh my goodness! Why? Why was that so intense? It's the murder mind. Was that the bonus quest? Complete the Immoral Syndicate encounters.
Look, I know what you're really after. You're not after some lackey.
Intervention points. I guess I still know what this is.
I can give them to you, but not if I'm dead.
I mean, yeah. I don't know.
The question now, Exile, is whether or
Exile.
not you're foolish enough to face them down. I think you just might be.
I might be. I have a terrible accent there. It sounded like I was making fun of the accent. Actually, I can't get out. No! That's what I get for making fun of the accent. I wasn't making fun of it, though. I promise. I was just trying my hand at it. It's actually a lovely accent, being honest. I'm gonna drop the one British town that I know. Essex? I don't know what accent that is at all. I don't know. I suppose we could talk to Jun.
Hello.
And get these items unveiled. I did some interesting research today on, well, interesting to me anyway. You might find it boring. If you do, I'm sorry for what I'm about to say, but something to talk about. We didn't get any items that needed unveiled. What is happening here? Oh, it's this one here. Shock nearby enemies for 2 seconds when you focus. 8% increased global physical damage. No. 10% cold and cold resistance. 10% to cold and chaos resistance. Yeah, I'll take one of those. I did some research today on solid state drives. Just because I think I've mentioned on this channel before, I've never owned a solid state drive. And I don't know a whole lot about them other than they're fast. That's all I've ever really known about them. I know it seems weird to hear that from me. I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but I am a CS grad. I have a CS degree. But hardware was never really my interest. I find hardware interesting, but it was never something that I fully explored, which probably makes me a bad software engineer. The fact that I don't know everything about hardware. Stop the caravan. Okay, I know this one. Yep. I think we might want to pick up another health flask, if I'm being honest. So anyway, I found out that there was, well, I didn't really find out anything, I just read about. There are a bunch of different types of SSD drives nowadays. We're not going to be able to get... No, we should have just let that go. That's silly. There's a bunch of different types of SSDs today. And what surprises me is there's a bigger form factor that's more expensive than the smaller form factor. But the smaller form factor outperforms the bigger one. Because the technology that's basically phones, cell phones have expedited and cheapened that technology to the point where, well, cell phones and tablets and, oh my goodness, we need zombies here. And then there's a difference between SATA, which SATA is kind of notoriously slow but pretty universal. It's my understanding. Maybe I'm wrong about that too. That caravan's been going for a while. We're not even, we don't even care though. I don't even care. So yeah, you can get there's a version called NVMe, which I'm pretty sure my motherboard supports, where I can just plug the it's basically a card that's the size of a, you know, like a note card, circuit board. Man, they're trying to kill me. You guys seen them? Yeah, so it just surprises me that it's that cheap and it's that small for. I think when I initially looked at, you have another betrayal job in progress. Okay. Well, I said I was going to let him go. Yeah, I guess it just really surprises me that it's that cheap nowadays. Because I think when I first looked at SSDs, they were really, really expensive. I mean, you weren't going to get into like one that could barely hold the OS for less than $300 back in the day. And I remember thinking, well, that's not for me. It's a bit on the pricey side. And I'm a bit of a glutton for storage. And the price of hard disk have just gone down dramatically over the years. But consequently so have the SSDs. Can we heal our one zombie? I guess so. So yeah, it's a little less straightforward than hard disks. Although hard disks aren't really straightforward either. There's a lot you have to consider. But I was just surprised that there was a smaller form factor that was more efficient than the bigger one, and the bigger one costed more. and they call that Enterprise SSD. I think it has more mean time between failure. I think. I actually didn't read that, but all I heard was it said it was more reliable, and I assume that's what they mean. I don't know. I don't know. What is happening out here? Please stop. Whoever's doing that. Oh! I mean, I'll just kill from off screen here. Try to. Lost all of our zombies again. What are we missing? We're missing something here. We're missing a guardian. Yeah. So that was kind of a interesting rabbit hole I went down today. And then I started, let's see, I forget how I went from that to, I think I was watching Linus Tech Tip videos, which he has a great channel. If you've never seen that, go ahead and plug him. For the, yeah, he has a really good channel. I'm sure almost everybody, yikes, has seen his channel. But anyway, he did one that he was talking about DNS. Well, I just happened to continue watching it after I was watching things about M2 and SSDs, or M2 SSDs, and one about DNS lookup time. And there's a well, I don't know if it's open source or not, but this program that'll check your DNS and see if alternative DNSs versus the ones your ISP provides you are faster. I was like, oh, that's cool. So I downloaded it and tried it. Pretty nice, simple program. And then when I was kind of reading the synopsis about the program, I guess it's made in, because you don't have to actually install it. It's coded all in assembly to be really fast, which I think is really cool. Which is kind of why I got into programming in the first place. I mean, I really do enjoy the aspect of programming. What actually interests me more is just being part of the community that, you know, they've done so. There's so many people that have done so much. It's really is. It's amazing. Ow. So when you think about somebody making this program for free in assembly language, that, you know, is actually, you know, pretty useful program. And not, you know, it's not publicly broadcasted ever. It's the first time I've seen it. And I'm always kind of looking for utility pieces of software to, or whatever, to get micro performance things. Surprised I'd never seen it, actually. Yeah. Very cool though. There's a lot of cool people in the programming world doing a lot of cool stuff for little to no recognition. Not that that's why they do it. It's definitely not. Most of them do it because they love it. But that's not likely for most people that do anything, right? They do it because they love it. Let's go get some zombies before we fight a boss here. We cannot. We are locked in. Perfect. That's what we wanted, though. That was my goal all along. I can summon a couple. Is it dead? No, that wasn't even actually the boss. Yeah. Do some healing. Let's get how many corpses this is. No, we're not getting any more corpses. Corpse is the plural for corpse. Right? You don't say it's corpses. Or maybe you do. I'm surprised I don't know that off the top of my head. It should just be something you know. Oh well. That's gonna bother me. I'll have to look it up here after this episode. Or after this boss section. We can do it. A quick heal. I kind of wish there was a way to see all the zombies' HP. When you have more than one. You can see if it's only the single one, but... I mean, I don't know how they would do that without it being a really cluttered UI. Especially because I think you can have several more than 6 zombies up at a time. Kind of spec into it.
Too much clutter.
Too much butter. Alright, let's look it up here. I think it's corpses, actually. With an S. Plural of corpse. Corpses. We were correct. But still confused nonetheless.
Greetings.
And so we were in the wrong for being confused about something like that. Actually, there's no shame in being confused about things. That's just, that's life in general for the most part. Just states of confusion. At least my life is, anyway. Do I want to pop this on? I kind of do. But we're going to lose. Why is this red? Oh, because we got the cell window open. Still, it's probably one of my bigger complaints about the game. This game. And I'm sure there's some reason they don't want to do it. I'm sure it's a reasonable reason. 23 intellect. See, I don't even know if int affects our... I don't think it does. Mana and energy shield, which are... Yeah, those are decent stats to have. That's, well... What kind of resistance is this? Fire resistance 17. 36 lightning. I think our HP would go up if we use that. No, it goes down. Is this a helm? I thought this... Yeah, I thought it was feet though at first. That's why we're gonna keep it. This could potentially be good. The word is potentially.
Keep your life to your own.
Examine that a little bit more closely here as soon as we... We're not animals, we're gonna keep everything sorted here. 23 maximum energy shield. Let's just pop it on, see how it does. Really have to put it here. We gain a little bit, it looks like. Or it's about a wash as far as HP goes. 10% cold. And chaos. I mean, that's too much fire. We can't lose that much fire resistance.
Farewell.
I don't know what we do now. We're going to do another map, but which one? Let's do the laboratory again. The laboratory. Laboretorialis. At this time of year. Let's look at the house. Kill boss of magic or higher version on this map. I don't know if we guarantee a boss, but 2 extra strong bosses can be applied. 1% increased chance. I guess we'll do it live. I can write it, and we can do it live. You know, another reason I'm kind of interested in getting some of these videos backlogged, at least for, I'll be ahead a week here, shortly, is so I can play the other games as well. Or not the other games, but I can work on this hardcore character, and I was working on doing a Ori achievement run, and then probably doing like an update video for both of them at some point. Right, even if we don't get to the end of hardcore, we get to some milestone. That's the word I'm looking for. We get some kind of milestone in there, we can do an update video. Which will be fun. Crater Crown. We don't have our Holy Relic up because we're bad at games. But we got it up now. I don't know, I'm thinking about it. Resident Evil 3 comes out this year, I think. Which, you know, my hat's off to Capcom for the remakes they were doing. I was kind of bummed they weren't going to do more Biohazard style of game. They were going back to the old Resident Evil. And for me, Resident Evil is kind of a sore spot for me. I remember having a conversation with somebody when Resident Evil first came out. I had a Nintendo 64. And I was playing Zelda 64? Was that the name of the game? Yeah, it must have been Zelda 64. I feel like I had to have a better title than that, but maybe not. Well, anyway. Yeah, I was really enjoying that game, and I was talking to them on the phone, and they were like, no, Resident Evil is way better. It makes, Resident Evil makes the PlayStation way better than Nintendo 64, and I remember being very upset about it. I'm not actually upset, but just, you know how kids are. No, you're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. You're a dumb face, that kind of stuff. The way you hear adults passively talk to each other sometimes. That tickled my funny bone there. But yeah. And so, I was never really a huge fan of the original one for that reason. I remember playing it too, over at, I probably shouldn't say people's names. Yeah, we'll avoid doing that. But I wasn't really impressed with the way it moved. I thought it was really slow. And in actuality, it was fine. I was just probably really just reeling from people thinking the PlayStation was better than the Nintendo. Which, by the way, it was not. I mean, the PlayStation had some great games come out, but the Nintendo was a superior. The Nintendo 64 was superior in every way. I see people today talking about how the N64 controllers were terrible too, and the worst controller design ever. Those people must not have owned a Nintendo 64, because as far as I'm concerned, that was one of the better control designs. It had a way that you could kind of play one-handed almost, just with the middle one, and like kind of give your right hand a break by just tapping the side buttons, but you didn't have to hold on to it because your hand was balanced in the very center of the controller. And then if you like wanted to rest your wrist on your knees and kind of use your wrist as something to lean on, you could hold both ends and use the D-pad. I thought it was really comfortable. I think people that say it's uncomfortable today are people that probably never played it for long periods of time, and they don't necessarily know how to hold it correctly. That being said, I'm a big fan of the Xbox controller. Both, all iterations of it. I think it's a really good controller. And that's not to say the PlayStation controller is not bad. But I really enjoy the Xbox controller. It feels to me like if you were to hand me something blind and say this is a controller, I'd be like, and it was an Xbox controller, I'd say, oh, this is perfect. This feels like a controller. It's good. That's my expert analysis of the controller. It's good. You will like it. That's just my opinion. That's just a theory, guys. A game theory. I will say, and I know some people might like this controller. I have a Steam controller that I purchased, and I got a great deal for it. And they gave me Deus Ex. It was like Deus Ex and a Steam controller for like $12 or something crazy. I think they were selling them for $5 not too long ago, which is insane too. But I just do not like the way that controller feels at all. It just doesn't feel good. And Steam is usually really good at making things, but they really whiffed on that one, I thought. It's not good. Maybe it's fantastic and I gotta get used to it. Maybe it's like the N64 controller for me. Like, I've given it some chances. Like, I've played Civ with it because, you know, it's kind of designed for games with a mouse in mind. That's where it's really useful. And it still didn't feel great to me, but I bet if I used it long enough, I'd probably like it. Or be able to better understand why there are people that probably like it and why the designers went with that design choice. Which is usually what you find if you play anything or use anything for long enough. You can kind of see the brilliance in what, you know, any artist or designer or artist is trying to do. And it's usually our lack of understanding that makes us blind to certain things. And sometimes it's a piece of crap too. So I don't know. What do I know, guys? I don't know anything. We're looking for switches. Yeah. See it hanging off the side there. We're missing all of our zombies. Definitely gonna pick that up. Yeah, so any of the Resident Evil series is coming out this year. Resident Evil 3, I believe. Which, you know, as I was just saying, was never a big fan of the old school ones. But it looks like they've done a brilliant job in remaking them. Like, they look good. And they look like but they still look like the old game. It's weird. So there's that too. Did we get them all? We're missing one. We didn't get the one over here. Looks like we're close to leveling up here. Just dawned on me. Or I just caught a glimpse of it. We need to go down more. Maybe. Just kidding. I think those whetstones are actually useless to us. Because we don't use physical damage. I think I mentioned that. I'm not sure where we're supposed to go here. It should be over here. Maybe it's over here. Keyword is maybe. Now, it's getting pretty late at this point. Even though I'm over here sipping coffee. I don't know if I can do another episode, which I need one more to fill out the week and have me set up till next Saturday, so we've got episodes. I know that bothers people, the recording in advance stuff, but I think it's okay. There's just no switch over here. What the frig? Oh. Yeah, see, I knew that. I knew what was going on there. Yeah, I know that bothers people to know that they're... And I think we've had this talk before. About the recording in advance. It's just the nature of the beast. You have to record in advance at least somewhat because there's video processing and you have to do other stuff too. And I'm not making a living off this at all, so it's really just me playing games at the moment. Which, to be honest with you, I've since I've started this, I've been playing a lot more games. Ooh, I forgot we gotta go in here. A lot more games than I have been recently. So it's kind of nice to do. Because I do love playing games. But there was a good 3 months there where I wasn't really playing a whole lot. Which, is okay. It's good to take extended breaks from games every once in a while. I think I was playing a little bit of Isaac, Binding of Isaac. Which is it's an older game. I'm playing the Flash version of Binding of Isaac. It is a really good game though. The creator has just come out with, well, it's a couple months old now, or maybe a month and a half old, with a puzzle game called The Legend of Bumbo. Oh no, we didn't want to do that. There we go. Which I did buy, and it was an okay game. Wasn't the biggest letdown is it wasn't really that difficult. I guess that's it for her. I do recommend it though. It's it's a different kind of puzzle game. So if you like The Binding of Isaac and you like puzzle games, it's probably up your alley. But I do recommend it. I enjoyed it, even though I got all the achievements in like a week. The Legend of Bumbo. No, we don't want that. Do we want this? No. I don't think so.
Go with courage.
I will go with courage. And I will go with this being the end of the episode. You guys know the drill. Drop us a like if you like the video. Subscribe to us if you want to see more. And we'll see you in the next episode of Path of Exile. Take care, guys. We'll see you next time.